Dr. Barry McManus is a veteran of the CIA, where he specialized in information ops and deception, and joins us tonight as a guest. Let's pick up right there, Dr. McManus. So Putin said, "I'm proud of my daughters," followed by, "I never discuss my family with anyone." What will he do at this point, in your mind, to protect them?
I think in theory it's a good idea with regards to sanctions. It looks nice. It goes in the direction I think we should be going. But in reality, I don't think really that makes much difference to President Putin. I think the question I would ask myself, because there's very little bit of information out there, is how close is President Putin with his daughters? That would be number one. Does he have any type of relationship other than the little bit of information we know? So we're going into this, I think, somewhat blindly. I think the other idea is that I don't think there's any generational or any apparent error that he sees in his two daughters. So I think in reality, I don't think we're going to get the biggest bang for this, but I think it's worthwhile putting sanctions on his daughters and others within the Russian oligarchs or Russian people in power. You know, we have to do something along that way in sanctioning these individuals. But in reality, I don't think it's going to do that much.
Right, because the question, and it's speculative at this point, but is he willing to protect them, or is he more interested in protecting himself, his power, his legacy?
Well, I think he gets back to number one. Number one is, who does President Putin care about? And I think it's very evident he cares only about President Putin. Are there family members I'm sure that he has relationships with and he loves, as any father would? But I think at the end of the day, I think it's been shown, I think it's been documented, but he cares about one person. That person happens to be President Putin.
So you wonder, is there any one person he would listen to, right? He's only in it for himself. He's got people he loves. He's got maybe a few people that he trusts. But will he listen to anyone? Can anyone bend his ear?
Well, I think in the mindset is what I look at if I was sitting in front of President Putin and trying to figure him out as we sit there and as we have our discussions, is number one, you look at things that he has done since the invasion of Ukraine. Number one, of course, most recently in the past week, he has established conscription, or the Russian draft. And I think that tells all of us that this is not going the way that he thought it would go. So clearly, I don't think he is listening to anyone other than the fact that I find myself in disarray. I find myself in real trouble here. So there are going to have to be things that I have to do. So I think that sort of sets the stage for us. Is there anybody he's going to listen to? I don't think so.
And what does that do?
I think that's historical.
What does that do to a person at that point of desperation, that they're backed into a corner, that they're turning to these strategies to try to get the upper hand?
Well, I think, three, he's underestimated, as I've always talked about. He's underestimated Ukraine's efforts and having to change his strategy even. And if he, one would say he's delusional in the fact that it looks like he still thinks he can win this. And that's delusional to me. Can you still win this war and still stay in power? And that has to be going on in his mind. That has to be part of what he's thinking. But I think with that, there's certain side effects that I think all of this will play on him mentally. He's seeing the low morale among Russian forces. Two, he sees domestic pressures now at home. That's becoming very evident, and it's mounting. Three, if it is true, his own health may be suffering from all of this. There's always I can't speak of it. I think it's undocumented that he has health problems, but there's something going on. So with that in conclusion, if I was sitting in front of President Putin, it would be like I would ask him the question, now what do you do? What do you do now? Where are you going to start? And I would give him sort of the best choices that you have. And the best choices that he can do is sort of end this peacefully, hopefully, the occupation. And hopefully he can do this in a diplomatic sort of forum. You have to look at it and say, can he withstand this sort of wave of pressure that's being put on him? And the idea is getting a piece of Ukraine. Will that be enough? Will that satisfy his insatiable appetite for greed? We don't know those answers, because every day it's changing and he's moving into the Southeast. Maybe that will be enough. Maybe he can walk away with this and save face. And on two, not only can he save face, but he has to also understand that generationally, he's going to create a much bigger problem. Generationally, with the Ukrainians that are sitting there, all those young kids there now will have their own attitudes of what they think about the Russians. And I think that will be devastating long before he's around. I mean, he'll be gone, but generationally, the Russians will have a problem with this.
Very good point. This is history in the making. Dr. McManus, always great to have your insight. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.